Hey man, what's up?
Yeah, I'll come up real quick. Do you
Yeah, man, what's up?
do you read the Bible? Did you follow the Bible, or like what
Yeah, I'm
God
a
do you?
Christian. Yeah,
You're
I'm
a
a
Christian.
Christian.
Cool. So, so you think beauty is evidence of God?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
So,
beauty in the natural world is evidence of God, yeah.
so did God create only beautiful things?
So I think there's two ways I could cash that out. I could say no. I could say no, I don't think that maybe everything that God had created is beautiful.
That would be the
Yeah.
correct response, right?
You think that wouldn't be the correct response? I actually don't
I
know if
think it
there's
would
something wrong
be.
with
I
that.
think it would be the
You th-
correct response because he
oh,
said
okay,
he's
yeah.
created everything, including evil.
Yeah, so I don't think that God created evil. So I know the passage you're referring
I
to, and I
said,
actually have a video. I know the
yeah, it's
passage you're
calamity.
referring to. I
Yeah,
have
it's
yeah,
called
yeah, it's more
calamity. It
calamity,
refers to
chaos, stuff
calamity.
like that.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think calamity is?
Yeah, so I take this to be so evil is a
Cancer, tsunamis, things like that, right?
yeah, no. So calamity is a term that's referred to. It has the conception of like the opposite of peace, so something more comparable to like chaos, calamities,
Yeah,
even
like
disaster,
tidal
things like that.
waves,
Yeah, yeah,
natural
things like that.
disasters,
So now
right?
I think in the context in which God refers to that, I think there are instances in which God brings calamity on nations. I think that's what's in mind there. Is
Right.
God bringing
Yeah, because
calamity
he's a
on nations.
violent, unjust
So it
God.
seems to me, so are you not, so it seems you're wanting to come up and try to present objections against Christianity. It seems
I
like you
do.
actually didn't want to
I have
come up.
very strong objections to Christianity. It's
Yeah, well,
not
so here's,
beautiful. There's nothing beautiful about
yeah,
it.
yeah, well, so let's pause here. So this is something I find interesting about, so are you an atheist?
Yes, agnostic
Okay, so,
atheist.
yeah, so before we start getting into conversations about Christianity, why don't we just discuss the existence of God? Because this is something
Yeah,
I've
there's
noticed that I
nothing
have
beautiful.
well, okay, wait a second.
But
Yeah,
beauty
so
doesn't necessarily mean there's a God, right?
well, wait, no, let's pause.
Especially
So,
Christian God.
well, listen, I'm happy to have a conversation with you, but
Yeah,
if you keep talking over me, I'm gonna disconnect you. I'm just being, I've
cool.
had really good conversations with some atheists lately. I'm looking to have more.
Right.
I'm down to have that with you. So, sometimes I notice that I have these conversations where I put forth arguments about God, and then rather than responding to them, atheists often jump to like objecting to things they don't like in Christianity. And I just think it's more interesting because even if you're right about all this stuff about Christianity, I'm not going to become an atheist. I would just give up my
Right. I'm just
Christianity.
pointing out a thing is that like
Yeah, yeah. So, but let's talk about
if
that
beauty
after we
points out
establish
so
God.
beauty if beauty means there's God, the Christian God specifically, the Christian God
No,
is
I
not
don't.
beautiful.
Wait,
There's nothing really
wait,
beautiful about the Christian God,
wait.
like
Let's pause.
genocide
Let's
and
pause. Whoa, let's
slavery and all
pause.
these
No,
things.
let's pause here. Okay. So
Yeah.
my argument here is that beauty in the world points to there being artistic intent behind the universe. Now, nothing about that position entails that I have to say that I think every object or every act that the artist does is something that is itself beautiful. So why don't we first talk about whether or not beauty in the natural world is evidence for a type of cosmic artist, and then if we can come to an
Cosmic
agreement
artist.
there, yeah. So then if we
Yeah, I
can come
think
to an
so.
agreement there, well, if we can come to an agreement there, then we can go on to whether your objections about
Right.
Christianity and whether or not it
Let's do it.
conflicts with my argument. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I think that the natural world is filled with beauty. I go outside, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a beautiful
Hmm.
flower out there. I see a beautiful waterfall. I look at the cosmos. I look at pictures of the Milky Way galaxy. I'm like, oh, that's really beautiful. Like this seems like a pretty uncontroversial premise. Do you agree that there's beauty in the natural world?
Yeah. Do you know why we think there's beauty in the
Okay, wait,
natural
wait. So
world?
we agree. So this is
It's
wait. So
it's a
there's wait.
self-preservation thing. It's also a
Whoa, wait, let's
preservation of
pause.
the
No,
world
listen,
around us
listen.
thing.
So this is
It
I'm
has
going through
nothing
a
to do
step
with
by
there being a
step. Whoa,
creator.
whoa. So, but my question is, okay. So you agree that there are objects which are beautiful, okay, right?
Yeah,
Like you seem to agree with
absolutely.
that. So my question. So here's my question is, okay. It seems like when I look at things in my everyday experience, things don't tend to turn out beautiful unless they have artistic intent behind them. If I'm trying to build a car or a house or things like that, unless I'm intentionally trying to make it beautiful, they
Yeah,
usually
you're
don't
talking
turn
about
out being
man-made objects,
beautiful.
though, not things made by nature.
But now, why should I think that there's a difference? If what I see is that beauty is something that seems to come about because of intention, and in lack of intention doesn't bring about beauty, I don't see why I should not take that inference to when I'm looking at things in the natural world. And so
Or
and so what I'm doing then
oh
is
my
I'm
gosh.
kind of an inductive argument. I'm
So
saying,
you're
okay,
just gonna
I
steamroll
see.
our talk the whole time?
No, I'm not steamrolling our
Okay.
conversation. You paused, and I
Yeah,
was
I'm
going to
trying to.
explain, but go ahead.
I've tried to like interject a couple times,
Okay, go for it.
and like so just because you think something is beautiful doesn't point to God, because things that it could just be part of our DNA, right? We think something is beautiful, we want to preserve that thing. It's a preservation thing that's built into us. as a species.
Wait, can I pause you there?
And we survive because of this instinct.
So
right?
wait. So can I pause you there? So you're saying, yeah. So can I pause you there? So you're saying, okay, hey, listen, seeing beauty in the world, that helps us for preservation or something. Like, okay,
Yes.
cool. I'm talking about the explanation for why the object is beautiful, not the explanation of why I observe the object that's beautiful.
Beauty is also subjective to the person, right?
Well, I tell you what, I disagree. So why don't we talk about that? Because I think that's maybe potentially a huge stumbling block here. Let me give you a couple of reasons that I think that beauty is objective. Listen, you can cackle and scoff and laugh all you want. All you've done is made assertions that aren't pertinent to my argument. So tell you what, let me give maybe three considerations for why I think beauty is objective.
To attribute a creator to everything because you're afraid of what happens to you when you die.
So let's pause here. No, well let's pause here. So I want to point out to the audience. Well, I want to point out to my audience what this gentleman is doing. So I'm trying to engage in a philosophical argument with him in which I present premises and make inferences based on those premises. And instead of engaging with me, he's been scoffing, laughing, and now he's psychoanalyzing me and trying to suggest that he knows the origin of my belief, not because of the argument that I'm giving, but because of some concocted psychoanalyzation.
You think that beauty means there was a creator. You want to attribute beauty to being created. When in nature we see things that were created by human beings all the time.
Okay, so you said, wait, can you represent my argument back to me, just so I make sure we're understanding what my argument is?
Yeah, beauty in the world means that there was a creator, and because beautiful things are created, is what you think.
No, I said so that's not quite my argument. So my object is, wait, so my argument is that we see beautiful things in the natural world, and usually I have inductive reasoning for thinking beautiful things do not come about if their cause lacks artistic intent. And then so I'm making an inductive inference that it was like, okay, if I see, good.
Where is the artistic intent in the sunset?
You don't look at a sunset and be like, oh, that's beautiful. You don't think it's beautiful?
Yeah, all the time, but it's not. I don't think, oh, well, someone painted that.
Okay, but then you should because we have inferences. So we can infer from the beauty that it had artistic intent. Because usually, no, this isn't based on my opinion on whether or not artistic intent is linked with beauty. No, I'm not relying on. I'm not relying on the Bible. Why don't you actually engage with my argument?
You are though, because you're using the. I forget the.
When have I quoted a scripture? No, what scripture have I quoted to you today? Name a scripture I've quoted to you today. No. Yeah, exactly, because I don't need to.
I know where this idea, this philosophy comes from, and it's from the philosophy, it's from the scripture, where everything, where creation points to God. Where God says in the Bible that all creation points to him, right?
Wait, can I pause you real quick there?
You're asserting that anything beautiful points to him.
No, so this idea...
things too.
Wait, let's pause there. So again, first off, my argument is I'm not arguing for any religious conception. So whether or not you think my argument here contradicts with something in Christianity, we can address that after we address the validity of my argument. Wait, let me finish. Whoa, you keep interrupting me. Chill out. Whoa, chill. Now, second off, the idea of there being beauty in the natural world and that beauty in the natural world being evidence for God, this is not something that's unique to the Bible. This is something that is found throughout. This is something that's found out throughout philosophical and religious traditions. I mean, this is stuff that we can see hints of this in Plato, Aristotle, various ancient. All are gods correct?
Christian God?
So that's a question about what conception of God is correct. That's not pertinent to this argument. If let's say however I answer that.
You say you're a Christian. You say you put God in your title here, and then you want to remove your religion from this argument, which is
because let's pause. Because I'm not now arguing for the Christian view of God and his actions in the world. What I'm arguing is just simply a generic statement, which is there is a God. And you can affirm that statement without being Christians. Muslim, Jews, pagans, lots of people affirm that argument.
Watchmaker fallacy. I get it.
I haven't made it a watchmaker fallacy. I've never even mentioned a watchmaker.
You just changed it a little bit.
Wait, I want to point out something to my audience that he just did. So he just objected.
Asserted.
No. I actually haven't asserted that. I have good reasons for not asserting that. But now let's back up here. So I want to. Don't talk over me. No. Chill. So I want to point out what just happened. So my objector tried to object to the fact that I wasn't specifically arguing for Christianity in this life, and I pointed out, yeah, you're right. I'm not arguing for that. I'm arguing for a generic God. And then he just pivots to accusing me a watchmaker fallacy, which is not something I've even remotely talked about. You're just
That's
going
your whole
off
premise.
well, no, it's not. You're just going off of the generic internet atheist slogan calling card. Like, this sounds like a Reddit post. I'm asking you to engage philosophically with my argument, and you're not doing that. You're just raising up random objections that are red herrings. Most of what you've raised as objections to me haven't been objections related to my arguments. They're objections related to Christianity, which I said I'm not arguing
You're
for right
asserting
now.
that everything beautiful was created. Show me the evidence.
No, I'm not asserting that. That's not my assertion. My assertion
Beauty
is
is
I see
evidence
beauty
for
in the
God.
natural world. Yeah, and I've explained exactly what I meant by that through a syllogistic argument. Can you represent that
Yeah, and
syllogistic argument back to me?
Your argument included people creating things. So it's not crazy for me to assume that you're assuming that beauty is created, and that's why it points to God, right?
I
How
think
does
some
beauty
beautiful
point to God?
objects.
Can you explain?
Yeah, I've already explained that. I've explained this multiple times.
You
I
haven't,
think
because
no, I have. No, listen, dude.
Okay.
I have explained this multiple times. I think let's talk about what evidence means, okay? Evidence, I take evidence to be data which raises the probability of hypothesis. That is a pretty standard, non-controversial take on what evidence is. So if I have two hypotheses, I have A and B, and this piece of data it's expected under A, but it's not expected under B, well, then it's that data counts for evidence under A. Okay, that's just how evidence works. And so what I'm saying is beauty, seeing this type of suffusion of beauty in the natural world. This is evidence for theism, because this is more expected under theism than it is under atheism. Because under theism posits artistic intent behind the natural world, whereas the atheism does not posit artistic intent behind the natural world. And usually, if we see artistic intent, usually we can infer from that, or we usually often have evidence from that, that beauty comes about because that object's cause had artistic intent. So I'm taking a Bayesian account of intent. It is caused with the intent of it being beautiful. Like, there's an agent who is intentionally making it in a way such as it is beautiful.
Making it, right? So yes, this is the watchmaker fallacy. You just don't want to address that.
Okay, so describe the watchmaker fallacy from me.
You believe that everything we see in the world was created, because nothing can be not created, right? Especially, beauty, beautiful things. You think beautiful
No,
things.
I just want you to explain to me what you think. I want. Wait, no, you don't. I don't think you know. I don't think you know what the watchmaker fallacy is. Honestly, I think you've heard that term.
Everything we see is created.
That's not what the watchmaker fallacy
Anything
is.
complex is created. Anything with a system is created, because things with systems are created. Like, just like a watch.
When did I make the phrase complex? When did I mention the phrase system? I haven't.
You're using the word beauty. So you're just substituting words around. That's all you're doing.
No,
here.
I'm making a different argument, and you're continually misrepresenting me. I'm not upset. I'm actually having a good time. Yeah,
Are you?
because you were continually. Yeah, I'm having a great time because I like it when I have guys like you come up. It's just easy to point out how you're not addressing my argument.
I am addressing your argument. You're just running. Like,
where have I
this is the
ran?
watchmaker fallacy.
What have I
You are
dodged?
asserting
So
that beautiful
wait.
things are created by God, and that's why they point to Him.
Okay, so wait. Well, let's pause there. Let's pause there.
Artistic intent again? Can you tell me what it is again?
I think artistic
There's a
intent.
word in there you use called making. Can you use the word?
Yeah,
making?
yeah. I
It's
think there is.
literally
I think if someone has artistic intent when they create something,
create something.
yeah, like
right. They
yeah,
made it.
I think creation is. I think made is going on. There's nothing. So it seems like you think you can invoke this magical watchmaker fallacy. It seems like you think you can invoke this term anytime I present an argument which concludes that something was made. There's nothing fallacious
It's
in
the same
concluding that
thing.
something was made. So so you have this thing in your idea that there's this watchmaker fallacy.
Please prove to me
I
that
want
everything
you.
beautiful in the world was created by a God. I would love.
I don't hold
to see.
I don't hold to that position. I have never
You do.
asserted that because
Beauty
I
is
think
evidence for God.
No. Okay.
literally in the
If you
title.
keep misrepresenting, no, I have never said that every beautiful object was created by God. I have explicitly said, I have noted multiple times that there are
evidence for
beautiful
God.
objects that are not created by God. I've noted that. I've noticed
Right,
that
'cause
humans
human
make
beings
beautiful
better ones,
things.
right?
Yeah, because I think so then it would not be the case.
Let me rephrase it then. Every
No, you're
beautiful thing
done.
in
I'm
nature
not-
was created by God.
Yeah, we're done with you. If anybody wants to come up and have a good conversation and actually represent my argument, I gave that guy multiple attempts to represent my argument correctly, and he continually failed to. So